What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new commentary video. Before this video gets started, I just want to say thank you all so much for the support on the last video. I also just want to mention once again that there is a link to join our Discord down in the description if you would like to join. I like to chat and chill with you guys all the time, so feel free to join and just hang out. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into this video. And today's going to be a little bit different. Usually I try to sit down and talk about life and stuff, but I guess I am doing that this week, but I wanted to address a few things. And in particular, I wanted to talk a little bit about the power and responsibility of a content creator. If you guys haven't been following the news over the last, 2 months or so, there's been a few large content creators in the space that have been canceled regarding behavior with minors. And I wanted to chat a little bit about that and sort of the impact that that has and how to avoid it, number one, and then also like the responsibility that content creators have. So the two cases that we're really going to be talking about is, of course, Dr. Disrespect, as well as the recent allegations against Ava Tyson. So to cut both stories really short, both were unfortunately caught talking with people that were underage. Dr. Disrespect, in fact, lied to people for multiple years, saying that he had no idea why he was banned. He pretended to act as if he didn't know that he was being banned by Twitch and other streaming services, including Discord, that he was being banned because of misconduct. And in the case of Ava Tyson was one of the large members of Mr. Beast, and that relationship has since been cut ties. And the point of what both of these stories have in common is that they were both caught doing essentially the same thing. Both were caught talking to people that they believed to be underage, and turns out they were underage, and they were having inappropriate conversations. And unfortunately, this isn't something new in the content creator space. I can remember all the way back in 5th grade when all the Lion Maker stuff was coming out. Or unfortunately, one that kind of really affected me was the Call Me Carson stuff. And while that wasn't the same thing, we're still going to talk about that a little bit in this video and sort of the responsibility that us content creators have, and really any celebrity has, and sort of what I've learned about it and sort of my perspective on this whole thing. And I want to come out clean and mention that, first of all, me and Noah have not had inappropriate conversations with people that are under the age of 18. At least when we weren't adults. We've all had girlfriends and things when we were underage that were also underage, right? And I mean, when I say that, I don't mean that there was like anything ridiculous being shown or anything like that, but just teenager stuff, right? I just want to make that clear. And what's really interesting is that one person in particular that has really kind of shown my perspective on how to handle these situations is, ironically enough, somebody that's been canceled. I mentioned him a few times throughout the series, and somebody that I mentioned throughout the podcast and stuff, and somebody that's a big inspiration to me. Louis C.K. Louis C.K. was canceled near the start of cancel culture because of an interview that was conducted on Howard Stern. A comedian admitted that Louis C.K. had asked her if he was allowed to pleasure himself in front of her. And Louis C.K., for anybody that isn't my age or a little bit older, Louis C.K. was one of the biggest comedians. He still is one of the biggest comedians and one of the founding fathers of alternative comedy in the mid to early 2000s. And he's done great stuff. Almost right away, Louis C.K. admitted to these allegations. And these allegations weren't that they were sexual assault or harassment, because these were all consensual cases. But he brought up a really good point, and I'm going to read part of that statement right here. When I asked these women if I could show them my penis, I didn't realize something. This wasn't a question. This was a predicament for them. These were all women that admired me and appreciated what I did. I took full advantage of these women, and I accept this and acknowledge this. So here Louis C.K. is talking about, in these situations, it wasn't necessarily rape or, anything else disgusting. It's still wrong. And I think that really leads into an interesting conversation of the power and responsibility of a content creator. The thing is as a content creator, you're admired. You are looked up to by people that are younger than you. Really, anybody that is consuming your content in a lot of different ways is going to be appreciative of you, and they're going to look up to you. And like he said, it's not a question. It's a predicament for this person. They feel that they are, you know, harming you in some way by saying no, or that they have to say yes. And, you know, and in a lot of cases, unfortunately, they will say yes, which raises a really, really interesting conversation about sort of these relationships online, adult or not. And in my opinion, don't do it no matter the age, right? I mean, me and Noah have made this very clear with one another, and, you know, we're both in happy relationships, so we wouldn't to begin with. But, I mean, the thing is like, look, don't do it. I mean, a big point with this has to do with Call Me Carson. Call Me Carson was canceled for doing pretty much the same thing here. Now, some people wanted to make it about the age. It was 17 and 19. I'm not going to debate about that. I don't really see that big of an issue with the age per se. But what I will say is this. This person was a fan of Carson and was a fan of the Lunch Club, right? So when you have somebody like Call Me Carson reach out to you personally in a private setting where there is nobody there to witness it, guess what? Carson is fully taking advantage of these people. It does not matter if debatably it's not morally wrong. Oh, sorry, if it's not legally wrong, it's morally wrong, right? And that's something that Louis C.K. touched on here, is that it's not about the legality and it's not about right and wrong. What it is, it's about the moral gratifications. See, when you're in a position of power, you have this responsibility to separate that power in that relationship, right? Because if you are, you know, forcing yourself onto somebody, or you're even engaging in anything in that manner with somebody that admires you or looks up to you, they're probably going to say yes, and that's wrong to take advantage of. Part of our responsibility as a content creator is to make people feel safe and comfortable, right? Part of what we do is that, you know, we're trying to make people have a happy day after maybe a shitty day. I don't know about you, but that's a big factor of why I make this content, is that I want to be able to give a chance, you know, if you've had a tough day, to just unwind, right? Because I understand the challenges of life. Life is really difficult, and that's why I made the series, is that I really wanted to give people an opportunity to unwind, and that I can help people understand and navigate the troubles of life. But the issue is that when you are turning it into something beyond that, and you're reaching out to people either of age or not, reaching out to people in a private setting, you're not creating that safe space anymore. And you may feel that it's safe because both parties are consenting, or, you know, both parties feel comfortable at the time. It's still wrong. Just the other day, with this whole situation going on with Ava Tyson, it was made very clear that one of the victims has come forward and mentioned, hey, at the time, I felt that this was all right. I realize now it was not. I have a new perspective on everything that's going on, and it's wrong. It was wrong of what Ava Tyson did. And that has been the conversation online. And that's the conversation with a lot of these cases. You know, it also happened with Call Me Carson, is that a lot of these, well, there was only one, but the woman that came forward was, hey, I realized that at the time, I thought that this was okay and that I was enjoying it. But when I look back on it, unfortunately, it's not. And that's literally what trauma is, and what trauma is based off of. In a lot of cases, you don't realize what's wrong in the moment. It may feel right, or things may feel okay, but the truth is that, unfortunately, in a lot of cases, it's not. And it's really important, you know, for content creators and people like that make things online, that we have a responsibility to, number one, to entertain. That is our number one priority, is to entertain and impact the world. It's not to get a date, and it's not to flirt with somebody over Discord. That's not the goal of any content creator, and it shouldn't be, unless you're some fucking weirdo. At that point, get the fuck off the platform, you fucking creep. Like, okay? Like, turn yourself into the police, you fucking weirdo. But, you know, I just kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit and how I feel about it. I feel that it's wrong really in any case, and it's the responsibility of a content creator to make people feel safe, not vulnerable. Anyways, boys, I just want to say thank you for making it this far in the video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. Feel free to join our Discord. And just let us know what you liked about the video, what you didn't. It would be very much appreciated. Anyways, have a good, wonderful rest of your day, and peace.